it's Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan. And part of this whole unthinkable experience is juggling the way we feel. Um, Even with simple things like, oh, it's Rosh Chodesh, let's say Hallel. And you say, how could you say Hallel? But then you re-listen to the verses in Hallel, and there's so much um, uh, calling out there, and there's a lot of suffering there. Can יסור יסרני ya ולמוות לא נתנני. We said in Hallel, Min hamitzar karati ya anani b'merchav ya. When you call Hashem from the narrowest places, from the most difficult places, we probably call in a different way, and Hashem shows us the horizon opening towards us. So it's there's something about, everything that's going on is so painful, and we've all been running from funeral to funeral, from shiva house to shiva house. We sit with families of kidnapped civilians and soldiers, and it's so much pain that there's such a temptation to turn your head and to look at, wow, and look at Am Yisrael, they're so wonderful, and look what's going on, and look at the unity, and look at that, all the giving. And Am Yisrael is amazing and wonderful, and yet you can't use that to escape the pain. We have to develop some kind of way, on the one hand, to stay with the grieving, with everybody who's in trouble, imo anochi betzara. And on the other hand, keeping our spirits high, the kind of spirit that is needed for a nation in war, the kind of spirit that is needed for a nation that will achieve victory over pure evil, like the kind we haven't encountered. And so yeah, so, I said, I mean, mitzar karati ya. So similarly, there is in Rav Nachman Breslov talks about the pasuk batzar irchavta li. Okay, in the narrow place. Similarly, in the narrow place, you created harchava within it. You created space for me. And he says, in the narrowest places, in the worst places, there's that nobody wants to go there. Nobody requests to be there. But when we are there, we discover that there are special graces there. And we see that all over. But it's a lot of juggling. It's even endless dilemmas. How how does Israel show these pictures to the world, yet protect our souls and not watch any of it? Make people look evil in the eye so they can fight it, and yet keep ourselves not affected from such degree of wickedness, and preserve the kvod hamet, the dignity, and not lower the morale. Every day brings new dilemmas that we couldn't even encounter, like we couldn't even imagine. Um, the I'm trying to think what to choose to say, but there's this is Cheshvan, okay? Um, we hold on to anything that could give us a bit of more place to inhale. And one of the things is Rav Kook had like a verse for every month, a special sentence that encaptured the soul of that month. And uh, regarding Cheshvan, he said, Geshem be'ito yechaye et haruach. Cheshvan is the month when we're expecting rain. We turn to heavens, we ask for rain. And he says, when rain comes on time, it revives the spirit. And we were thinking and saying, today rain, there was like sudden, very strong rain. And we were thinking, maybe eventually we're going to call this war Milchemet Meshiv Haruach. Meshiv Haruach, in the sense that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us new spirit, gives Am Yisrael through unity, through chesed, through caring, through understanding again who we are facing as an enemy, and it's not only a fight for our life here, for our survival, for Eretz Israel, but representing the good and the justice and the light against the wickedness and the evil and the dark. There's something about a new spirit that Bezrat Hashem could be born from this. Uh, I again, it's for me personally, it's a sentence here, an idea there that give us strength. And one of the things that has been effective for years for me is the way Rabbi Zach says there's a difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is the general calculation. If everything's perfect in life, if everything's the way it's supposed to be, but joy could live in the moment. And even in times of uncertainty and so much stress, you can choose. You say it's Rosh Chodesh. We need the spirit. We can choose in the moment to experience some joy, so we could all pick ourselves up. It's like he also liked to always differentiate between optimism and hope. Optimism is this passive quality of yeah, but hope is the sense that if we work together, if we put our arms together, put our hearts together, put our minds together, we can advance to a good horizon. And for me here in Cheshvan, it's also the on Yud Aleph Cheshvan, it's the day of it's called Yom Rachelli Imeinu. And when we think of Rachelli Imeinu, we hear her weeping. We hear her refusing to be consoled, saying, "My son is gone." Al banaki enenu. On the other hand, we hear the prophet turn to Rachel and in a sense sweetening her weeping and saying, "Min'i kolech mi bechi ve'enayich midim'a, ki yesh sachar lefulatech." There will be reward for what you have done. נאום אדוני, ושבו מארץ אויב, ויש תקווה לאחריתך נאום אדוני, ושבו בנים לגבולם. They shall return from the land of our enemy, and there is hope for our charit, for what is coming to us, and all the sons will return to their borders. So this is all a tremendous prayer for hope, tikva lacharitech, for Shavu Meretz Oyev, having everybody, Bezrat Hashem, as we know, we don't get everything we want in our prayers, but we can keep our hope living as long as we see a brighter horizon, and we sense ourselves as agents towards that horizon. And one last sentence before I must go. In a sense, in a small sense, I was in this movie 9 years ago. And at the time, I had tremendous support and today everything is stretched so thin that families lack the basic support. It's heartbreaking. You come, you see a couple looking for their child, and they're sitting almost alone because the army can't be all over and the intelligence can't be all over, and they're doing it from their offices or from the front line, but they can't be by every family. So I'm begging you, for us, part of what kept our sanity is the tremendous hug we got from the diaspora, from you people, from people tying yellow ribbons, from people sending letters and packages, and everything had a name. We knew that you know the names and you're praying for them, and you're rallying for them. To me, it's, I'm familiar with you people because we go a long way in Ishmat, but I sometimes walk in the diaspora somewhere and someone would walk over to me in the street and say, "You don't know me, but I know you." And in the most sincere sense, I say, it's not so. I know you. You were with me in the worst time of my life. And you can be those people for the people out there that lack the support that they need. And you can tell them that their children are your children too, and that their family is your family, and that they have a tremendous extended family that loves them and cares for them and prays for them. And don't leave them anonymous. As the chaos is starting to move away, we have names. we know who the people are. We could divide them. Every community could take a few. Within a community we could divide, and we can show people that they're not alone. And that I know from personal experience, it means the world to me. So I'd love to stay longer, but I can't. להתראות.